Well, there we go. Okay, I figured it out. Okay, hey guys, welcome to our power planning. It is the 21st of February. We have exactly 1 week left of February, which I told you in the beginning, this is a short month. Let me turn my ringer off really quick. That's rude. I did not realize I still had that on. Okay, sorry. So we have a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. I want to make sure that you guys all remember tonight is the last night for the free shipping promo. I shared in the Dream Team, but this is more than Dream Team. So let me read it out loud. Danielle Madison, one of the promoters on our team, had sent private messages. It's very important that you send these things in private message and not post them. When you post promos openly, a lot of times people would just start shopping around, and you may have a thriver who ditches you for someone that shared a better promo. So I always have the best luck like with private message. I also think it's just more business-like. But anyway, she says, this is the message she sent to her customers, and you still have like what, 4 hours to do this. So don't give up. It says we're having a sale this weekend only. So you could say today only, tonight only. You can get a 4-week pack for $125 and free shipping. Do you want the promo code? So now how is she doing that? She is giving them $25 in credits and then using the promo. So she's taking what Lavelle is offering us for the free shipping and she's adding to it. So if you don't have credits or you don't have that many credits, you can change that price. But it's just, it's a great way of being like, hey, we're having a sale. Like get their attention right off the bat and get them in the conversation, but then say, would you like the promo code? Like let them know it's a sale that they have to have a code for. I think that's super important when you are trying to talk to people about a sale, because you don't want them to just be like, oh, I don't want to worry, bother her or talk to her or whatever and try to get online and order it, because they'll be very sad when they don't get the deal. So anyway, thank you, Danielle, for that. I just thought that was really, really good. If somebody from my team can copy and paste that in the chat, that would be helpful for anyone who's not on our team. They can see that verbiage and they can copy it really quick. The other thing I want to make sure we hit on is that we have an auto ship coming up on the 25th. That'll be our last auto ship for February. So it's going to be a really, really important one. It's also going to be, and we'll talk about this a little bit more here in a minute. It's a great time to get people to get back on auto ship. You can get promoters to turn back on auto ships. Oh, thank you, Dawn. So we'll get into that, but that we just have that one left to help push the volume where you need it. So with that in mind, we're going to start where we start every Sunday night, and that is with our rated run. So whether you've done this a million times or your brand spanking new, I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to go into your cloud office. Sorry, I got to log back in. You're going to go just right there on that very first main page. You're going to scroll down to where you see business dashboard. And the first gray bar says business snapshot. You're going to hit that button so it has like drops down all the options. Scroll down, and you're going to see where it says current QV. That is the number or volume dollar amount that you and everyone under you on your downline, customers and promoters, that's the volume that's been generated so far this month. So you're going to take that number. I can put my reading glasses on. And you're going to divide that by 21 because it's the 21st day of the month. So now you're looking at a new number. The new number you're looking at is the average that you and your team have done on a day-to-day basis up to this point. And now we're going to take that new number, we're going to multiply it by 28 because we have 28 days in the month of February. So you could do this yesterday, you can do it tomorrow. You just take the QV and divide it by whatever day of the week it is. It could be the 3rd of the month, the 5th, whatever day, doesn't matter. But you're going to divide it by the day of the month to find out your average. Then you're going to take the average and multiply it by how many days are in the month total. So, February is obviously the shortest month. So you're going to take that number and multiply it by, should I say divide? I meant multiply by the number of days in the month. So that number that you're now looking at, that's pretty darn accurate to where you're going to end up. Unless you push for the next 4 hours for this free shipping promo, unless you push like you've never pushed before the last week, which you guys, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Amazing things happen in the last 48 hours of the month. If that energy would just get pushed in now, I can't even imagine the amazing things that would happen. So now that you know where you stand, where you're headed, where you've been, you have a better idea of what you need to do to get jiggy. I do want to throw this out. I don't know if I've talked about this too much the last couple of times. I know I've mentioned it before. When you're looking at that number right now, let's say some of you are shooting for 12K and that number is like 6K. And you're like, there is no way in hell I'm going to be able to get another 6K by the end of the month. Bag it. I will start fresh next month. Let me warn you right now, how you finish the month is how you will start next month. So if you try throwing in the towel now and taking some time off before March, you're going to have to spend at least a week or so revving back up in March. So just keep going. Celebrate every sale. Celebrate all the volume that you get and just keep going. It may not be the exact number you would hope for, but keep pushing it. Make it the biggest number you can make it by the end of the month. Month end is where all the magic happens. We do still have this last auto ship. Yes. I don't know. I just got really hot all of a sudden. I was telling you not to give up on yourselves and my whole face got really red. So I want you to keep that in mind. Like, you have a week left, and if you stop before this week is over, you will have to restart. Every time you restart, you lose momentum. There's some great analogy somewhere where it talks about the airplane taking off. And if it doesn't pick up the speed and keep picking up the speed, it cannot take off. If it starts to go and slows down and starts to go and slows down, it has to circle all the way back around and start again. So don't do that to yourself. You've got momentum. You've got a whole week left. Keep pushing so that when you do hit the March 1st, that you are ready to go. Because you guys, outside of all of this fun stuff, the Puerto Vallarta qualifications, the free shipping, outside of all of that, there are still rank bonuses to be had March and April. So do not give up. Keep pushing. So speaking of that auto ship on the 25th, again, you've maybe done this a million times with me. Maybe you're new. We're going to do it together. I'm going to show you how to find out who has an auto ship coming up, because you need to make sure, if you haven't already made contact with them, that you make contact with them tonight or tomorrow, because you don't want someone to have an auto ship run on the 25th that's not prepared for it. Our system does not send them reminder emails. They do now get a reminder when they log into their cloud, but I don't know about you. A lot of my customers aren't logging into the cloud that often. So to me, it's really important. It's just another level of customer service. It's really important to make contact with them so they know it's coming out. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the main menu where you get all the drop-down options where it says home, my settings, my orders, all that stuff. You're going to go to the button that says my team. And then you're going to go to the bottom of those options where it says my customers. Now that's going to populate right away with all of your personal customers. These are people who created accounts under you. At the top of that, you're going to see it says customer number, customer name, email. Scroll all the way over to the far right until you see where it says next auto ship. Click on that box twice. Now, in that box, you're going to see dates. It populates it by date for you. Scroll down until you see February 25th. Anyone's name that has February 25th next to it, we need to write those down right now. And I'm going to write mine down right now too. So go ahead and write your auto shippers down. Okay, while you guys are still writing down, I'm going to throw out some information for you. I say this every single time I talk about auto ships. Please don't make the only contact your customer has with you once a month with you saying, hey, you have an auto ship coming up next week, or you have an auto ship coming up tomorrow. Nobody wants to be treated that way. Like, get in their DMs, get in their Facebook, their Instagram, whatever it is. Sometimes you just have to go back to, oh, Thrive Church, that's what made me sweat. Sometimes you just have to go back to maybe an old message that you have with them. Like, what was the last conversation you had? And scroll through and fire it back up. Maybe they told you a few weeks ago, maybe last month when you contacted them, they told you that their mom had not been feeling well and they were, worried about her or staying with her or whatever. Hey, how's your mom been? Like, keep the conversation going. Don't dive in with, hey, have an auto ship coming up this week. Get a feel of where they are in life, what's going on for them and what they need. If that person writes back and says, things are really, really bad, I'm super worried about mom, it's gone downhill, or things are great, mom is so much in better shape and everything is hunky-dory, then the conversation is going to go two different ways. Because imagine if that was you and your parent, and somebody just sent you a message. They didn't ask how you were doing. They didn't ask what was going on in your life. They didn't take the time to find out. Perhaps you are dealing with a devastating loss or some really hard decisions. And they're like, hey, you got an auto ship. Oh, that's no good. It's no good. So take the time to find out where people are, what's happening. Maybe they just went on vacation. Maybe their kid is, I'm trying to think of like stuff I saw today. Maybe their kid just won nationals for wrestling. Like what's going on with them? Start the conversation. Once you're in there and you kind of know what's happening, you know, you felt them out. Maybe they've mentioned to you they've been under a ton of stress, or maybe they mentioned to you that they are preparing for a vacation. So if someone tells me they're under a ton of stress, I'm going to bring up some gut health. I'm going to bring up some Black Label. If somebody's wanting to get ready for the beach, get like that beach body, I'm going to bring up, are they drink, you know, how are we doing with our product? Are we drinking a shake every day? Or we get ready to try Biotic? Like those conversations can then lead into your conversations about your product. And I always like to know, like, for example, my girl, April, I actually just had a couple back and forth with her this weekend. So I do know what's going on in her life. She has an auto ship coming up. I will look at her auto ship first so that I can say, hey, we were talking this week. You mentioned XYZ. And I noticed on your auto ship, you have the regular DFT, but I really think this would be a great month for you to try burn, whatever. I'm coming at it from a point of, I know what's happening in your life, and this is why I'm recommending it to you versus, oh, hey, this. So when you look at somebody and they're getting a $50 DFT and you're telling them to get burned, you better have a reason you're telling them to spend $90 versus $50, right? So if I already know why, and I've already justified why it's important, then that price change is not that big of a difference to someone because they know, they understand that I'm recommending it on purpose. So just think about those things when you're dealing with auto shippers. Your auto shippers are golden. They are the meat and potatoes. They are the people who create income for you when you're not even paying attention. They are also some of your biggest fans that could be telling people about you and your product. So I always like to treat my auto shippers really well. And please keep in mind, the subgroup of those auto shippers are what I like to call non-promoting promoters. So you have an entire back office of promoters. I don't want to just say it. Let's do it. Log into your cloud with me real quick. And you're going to go back to that menu, all the options, and you're going to go back to that My Team button. This time you're going to hit what's called the sponsorship downline. These are people that you directly sponsored in. So it automatically goes to your level ones. So in that, like it says My Team, it says sponsorship downline for your name. It'll say level 1, promoter number, and ascending. So go ahead and leave level 1, but then on promoter number, click the current PV button. PV stands for personal volume. So that's either stuff they've ordered or that they've sold directly to customers. And I can't remember if I went ascending or descending. Okay, and then you want to hit ascending and then hit sort. So these are going to show up for you in order of people that have 0 PV, which means they haven't purchased anything for themselves and no one under them has ordered. So clearly that is someone who you might want to make contact with, see what's going on in their life. And you might even find where somebody has some PV, but you're like, well, that's really weird. I don't think that they ordered. And you can go through their orders and see that maybe a customer under them purchased, but maybe they aren't purchasing anymore. So have those conversations with people. Those are people I would reach out with tonight and be like, hey, don't forget there's free shipping tonight. I know it's been a while since you ordered. This is a great time to get back on. Like, to me, non-promoting promoters are a huge unrecognized source of income and volume. There are people who at one point in time loved the product and or you so much that they clicked promoter. Maybe they just bought it for the deal and then the deal wasn't back and you forgot, or whatever, because you got focused on customers. Just don't lose track of those people because they can be some of your biggest fans also. So anyway, those are people I would also talk to about your non-promoting promoters about getting an auto ship set up for the 25th. So if they don't want to take advantage of the free shipping promo tonight, or they don't respond, in the next 4 hours, which I'll be in bed soon, so I get it. You can have a conversation with them, whatever it is you want to offer. First of all, so a promoter can go in and say, I want to set up an auto ship for the 25th of the month. A customer can't do that. A customer just has to place an order. It defaults to the next, day, and that's when their profile gets set. A promoter can actually go in and say, I want to create an auto ship for this day of the month, for this auto ship day. So whatever you want to offer them. Lavelle is offering freebies after, if they stay on Autoship so many times, right? So we already have that. You can't really talk about a good discount because they're already a promoter, they're getting that. But maybe you're offering something. Maybe you're going to offer free shipping in the form of a rebate, or maybe you're offering a free trial pack of something. I find a lot of times non-promoting promoters, since they're kind of like glorified customers, they don't have all the product. They're not trying all the things. So maybe you ordered Biotic and maybe they didn't. But if they want to get on for the 25th, you can send them 10 days of Biotic, like whatever, to take it to them, whatever. Or maybe again, by finding out what's going on in their life, maybe you're like, you know what, I think maybe you should try Black Label this time. And maybe as a non-promoting promoter, they've never tried anything but regular. So you could send them that as an incentive to have an auto ship. I don't know how else to word it, but there's a huge potential for, oh, that's my dog. Can you hear? I think she had a hairball. Sorry. There's a huge potential with that group of people. And I don't know about you, but I have a ton of level 1 promoters that have no personal volume and she's yakking on, not on a bone though, just on her own spit. She's old. So there's a lot of potential where people don't have PV, they don't have personal volume, and they don't have any QV under them either. So just make sure you don't forget about them. I think it's really easy to forget about them because we get so focused on new customers or, keeping our customers happy. Okay, so moving forward, looking at this last week of February, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing a holiday or anything. I don't see there's Flag Day for Mexico on Wednesday. I want to share with you something that I read today. I wrote it down. Oh, here it is. Okay. So when you are thinking about your social media for the week and your posts and things like that, your stories and all that jazz, this struck me really hard today. So I'm going to give you a little example first before I tell you what it says. I'm looking at all the faces on the screen. Hopefully most of you have heard of the show or watched the show, or you know what I'm kind of talking about. When it's Sex in the City, it was the girls back they were in New York. I forget what year this was popular, but it was just 4 ladies that lived in New York, and the show was about their life. That show created so many trends amongst shoppers. One in particular that I'll point out are the Manolo Blahniks, the red bottom shoes that became this iconic fashion statement. If you had a red bottom shoe, it meant you had wealth, or at least you knew somebody wealthy, or you had so much style that they would send you these red bottom shoes, right? At no point in time was there ever an advertisement run during that show for Manolo Blahniks. I'm not even sure I'm totally saying that right, but I think I am. So no one ever was watching that show and then saw an ad for the shoes and thought, oh, I think I want to buy those. People just watched the show and they kept associating these shoes with these women and the lifestyle that they had. The one girl was rich. The one girl was a powerful lawyer. The one girl was like the real fashiony, trendy one, whatever. So if she wore it, it was like trendy. So my point is, and what I read today, it says, don't be the ad, be the TV show. So I want you to think about that. I know a lot of times people are like, I feel like I'm being salesy. I feel like blah, blah, blah. If you feel that way, you probably are. Now, I'm not saying it's not okay to be bold and to be like, put your message out there. But just remember, if you're doing advertisements for your product, what is the first thing people do when a commercial comes on TV? What's the first thing someone does? They get up to go pee. They're like, finally, I've had to pee this whole time. I'm going to go to the bathroom now because there's a commercial on. So don't become a commercial. Live your life out loud. Let people see you, see what it means to be a thriver for you. And it's going to mean something a little bit different for all of us. That's the thing I think some people get caught up on. They see a great Thrive post from somebody and they're like, well, this person is a 200K or this person hit 12K in 2 weeks. And so whatever they post must be magic. No, it's not. One single post is not magic. Somebody has to really want to spend time with you and really get to know you, or better yet, start to spend so much time with you that they feel like they know you. I mean, I'm going to pick on Sandra. How many of you follow Sandra on Facebook? You just kind of know her, right? You know, she's going to have like cowhide somewhere in that house. She's going to have some cute new pair of shoes at some point in time. She's going to have that bun on her head, right? So don't be surprised when people who follow Sandra start wearing a messy bun and start having cowhide somewhere in their home. Because why? Because they love her, they know her, they appreciate her, and they like that about her. So it's the same thing when it comes to your Thrive Life. If you want people to join your team, if you want people to buy your product, they have to see what that really truly means. What does it mean to be on your team? What are you and your team doing during the day? Like if someone came to me and said, "Do you want to join my team?" I'd be like, I don't play volleyball. Like what are we doing? What do you mean your team? Is this bowling? What are we doing? And I hate when people are just like, "Do you want to buy my product?" That drives me nuts. I'm like, what is it? Why would I need it? How does blah, blah, blah. But if I'm following someone enough and I already know what they're kind of about because I've seen them living their life out loud, it's a much easier decision for me to be like, what is that thing on your arm? Or what is that? What are these things you're always going to? And all these people are so daggone happy. Like whatever it is, it's going to attract someone to you. So just remember when you're doing your social media this week, challenge yourself to just live out loud. Be the TV show. If a producer was going to go to your Facebook page and be like, I want to make a show about Laura Wernsman. What's her show about? Clearly, there's going to be dachshunds involved, right? And they're going to be playing in the snow. There's going to be some bad driving, which I just love because there was a very recent bad driving incident. So it'd be like they would know who Laura is. They would know her hotspots, her highlights. But if they went to Laura's page and all she ever did was save $50 this month on Thrive and Black Label is the best thing in the world and they're not going to know. Like, why is Black Label great? Because she doesn't want to murder her dogs when they're running in and out of the snow, messing up the house, right? Like, you got to be who you are. Your vibe attracts your tribe, all these great, crazy sayings. But to me, it really like stuck when it said, don't be the ad, be the TV show. So don't be afraid to be who you are. The other thing I heard in this exact same podcast, and I was like, and I haven't figured out how to do it yet. I want to know if anyone knows, let me know. Oh, butterflies. Yes. They would definitely have butterflies for Laura. So it would be like the dogs in the snow and the sun in the winter and butterflies in the spring, summer, and fall. So one of the snippets that came out of this podcast, and I wish I knew how to like grab a snippet of just the person talking and share it. I don't know how to do that. But he said one of the biggest things that holds people back in this world is that everyone is stuck in high school. Mentally stuck in high school. You're still worried about what people think when you wear. You're still worried about what people think, what you're doing, who you're with. It was Gary V. I listened to a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk. He's got a big old last name, Gary V-E-E, but his actual last name is, Vaynerchuk. I think I'm spelling that last part right. I'm not totally sure. But he said it and we've talked about it before. You start to do a post and you pull back because you're like, I don't know. What if so-and-so sees this and they make fun of me? What if so-and-so sees this and thinks I'm not cool? When he said it, it's so clear. People are stuck because they're still in high school. High school's over for all of us. I don't know that we have anybody on the team that's in high school still. I guess if they were 18 and older, we could, but we don't right now. So think about that. When you're holding back on your post or you're trying to be, it's one thing to me to be creative with your social media. It's another thing to be where you're trying to like fine tune it so people get a different feeling about you. Like you're trying to seem smarter than you are, or you're trying to seem more important than you are. That's being back in high school. That's the whole, like, I'm going to wear my fancy new shoes that my grandma got me and I'm going to act like we're loaded, blah, 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 whatever kids are thinking in high school, right? So just be you. Trust me, the people who care are the ones that matter anyway. So I really want you to think about that when you're doing your post. The other thing I want you to think about is you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be like all extreme and all the things that you do, but you just have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. The person who shows up every single day is the one who wins. I shared a quote today on Facebook. It said, success and failure live on the same road. Success is just a little farther down the way. And that is something you have to remember. Success is just a couple more steps away. maybe another mile away. Who knows how far away it is, but they live on the same road. So if you feel like you're failing, you're actually in the right spot. You just haven't gone far enough yet. So just be consistent, keep showing up. You know, every day we do our birthday reach outs. Every day we do our conscious comments. Every day we do our like our communication through Messenger. There are days that you're not going to want to. I get it. I totally get it. I don't give a rat's rump what people think of me anymore. Finally, it's a really good feel. Oh, you said that to me privately. My bad. Just read it out loud to everybody. I'm not the person to put on a speakerphone. We've had this conversation. I am so sorry. Next time I'll realize it's in red. My bad. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying now. So there are things that we do every day. Like some of you are doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Some of you are throwing that out the window and doing the 30, 40, 50, whatever. But you have to do it all the time. I don't want to see somebody get off here tonight and be like, oh yeah, I'm jazzed. And you're going to do like 30 reach outs tonight and then nothing for the rest of the week. That will not help your business grow. If McDonald's just opened 1 day a week versus 7, what do you think is going to happen to the bottom line? Even if they have 7 slow days, they're going to do better than if they were just open 1 day a week. So same thing, your door has to be open. It doesn't have to be open 24/7. You do not have to be on your phone from sun up till sundown. You do not have to drop everything to help everyone all the time, but you need to open your business at least once a day, 7 days a week. So please remember when you're doing things on Facebook and Instagram and the fun, to me, that's the fun stuff. That's just this much of your business. You really got to dive in. You got to dive into those reports. Who are promoters on your team that aren't working? Who are promoters on your team that aren't really promoters, but they're just customers, but you've kind of forgot about them? Who are customers who have signed up and made accounts 4 or 5 years ago and you've forgotten about them and you just assume they don't want it? I can't tell you over the last year how many people who created accounts in 2016 and 2017 ordered. Never give up on these people. But don't think because you made a Facebook post that you've reached them, because you haven't. You've only reached the small group of people that Facebook decided to share your post with. If you want to truly reach people, you have to know who you're reaching, in other words, the person's name, and you have to actually reach them, text them, call them, send them a Facebook message, whatever messaging system you use, but actually make contact with them. Far too often people say, I did a post and nobody responded. Okay, great. How many messages did you actually send? How many people did you actually talk to? Making a Facebook post, making a story. Yes, when you're making the story, you're talking to your people, but you're not really having a conversation with somebody. You're just hoping. I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I'm going through stories, I don't even have the volume on. If it doesn't say sound on, I'm like, well, she's moving her lips. I don't really know what's going on. And I just keep going through. So you really don't know. But if you take the time to send a message, text someone, call someone, then you can say, yes, I'm actually truly working my business. So dive in your reports this week. Spend like, what is it? No stone unturned. Somehow connect with every customer in your list. Somehow connect with every promoter on your level 1s at least. And then a lot of us will have 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s that have lost their uplines, and you're going to know who they are. Dive in there. Just have conversations with them. When was the last time they ordered? What's going on in their world? What can you help them with? I would rather if every single person that quit ordering would just even fire back up with just ordering 1 month of capsules. That would get them back on the wagon. You guys all know that there are days that you might forget your shake, you might forget your DFT, but none of us forget our capsules because that is the magic jumper cables, right? That is the thing that starts our day. So even if you can just, maybe you have $10 in credits and that person can now get capsules for $50 instead of 60, whatever it is, make sure you contact them because there's a ton of unreached volume in your downline. And that unreached volume is what can help you get to Puerto Vallarta, get an auto bonus, get a rank advance bonus. These are the I don't know what to call them. They're the people that you've already done all the work with. Like they're kind of like the hidden gems. We're all out there like busting the streets trying to find new people when you have a back office full of people already that you just need to talk to. And again, I don't ever just dive in and say, hey, let's order Thrive again. I like to find out what's going on in their life because I would prefer someone to do that for me. So don't fool yourself thinking that Facebook and Instagram are your job. That's just a part of it. Your actual job lies in your cloud office. Facebook and Instagram are a way that you can connect to people, but to find the people to connect with, they're in your back office too, right? So to me, social media is the big net where you're trying to bring people in. You've got a ton of people that are sitting right there in your cloud right now that you need to communicate with. So make that your goal this week. I'm probably supposed to tell you something like do 10 a day, do 20 a day. Like if that helps you, then yeah, I'm telling you, do 10 a day, do 10 customers a day and 10 promoters a day. Make that your goal. Like start writing their names down tonight so that you can hit the ground running tomorrow, or you can even hit 10 tonight before you go to bed. But just don't let those names sit in the cloud. It doesn't do them or you any good just sitting in the cloud. So dive into all of that. If you guys have anybody have any questions, anything you need? No? Okay, so please remember when you're putting yourself out there to be the TV show. Like let people see your real life. Like unfortunately my dog was hacking up along during this Zoom, but that's my real life. So yeah, so don't be the ad, be the TV show, and get your booty into your cloud office because there's a huge amount of potential back there. Dawn says you can print. Yes, you can print those lists off. You mean the list of like your customer names and things like that? I'm assuming that's what she meant. There's a bunch of people hopping on now at 7:30. This started at 7, so I'm going to put the recording in the YouTube. Okay, so I will put this in the YouTube. You guys will be able to watch the replay. And then Dream Team, we actually are supposed to have Courtney Glazer tomorrow, and that's open to everyone. So I will share that graphic when we get done here. And I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye.